Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Traditionally, we wait for a couple more minutes for everyone to join, and then we'll start.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Right, let's begin. So welcome everyone to our 19th call of the DeFi group of the Freeton. So we have not so many topics on the agenda today, but they are all important. So we're going to discuss them. So what we will have on our meeting. So first of all, I would like to give some update on the stablecoin contest. The next topic will be about the smart contract juries that we had a call about yesterday. Also, we will slightly touch Jurors efficiency analysis and feedback, and we'll schedule the payout session for two contests. So the first one, the first stage of the Ethereum breach, and the second one is for the stablecoin contest that is ending right now. So let's begin with the first topic. So the stablecoin contest is almost over. So there is only a few hours left for voting, and there were a lot of very interesting works. However, we discussed, as we discussed in the jury group, there was quite a number of plagiarism. Actually, most of jurors have quite a consensus on this part. So the plagiarism is not allowed in any way, because we are looking for some kind of creative work, and even if you use some kind of good basis materials that you took from the internet, from other websites, so just please take your time and rework them, and think of Freeton objectives and how Freeton works, because normally most of them are not directly applicable for the Freeton. Yeah, so I think that most of the results are already more or less finished, but we will still wait for a few more hours until it's finished on chain, and then I will prepare the calculation for the contest itself. Maybe someone wants to say a few comments about the works that were on the stablecoins contest. Just raise a hand. I'll get the words. Not everyone at once, please. Okay, Vladimir, yes.
Yeah, hi. I want to say thank you to all the participants. The works, most of them were very professional, and I think I can say that maybe half of them were quite novel. I was afraid that a lot of them would be just copy of DAI model or of other stable coins, but most of them were quite novel. And especially I was really very surprised in a good way by Mitya's work and one other work which introduced interesting model for one of the main problems for type 2 and type 3 algo coin, which is oracles. In Mitya's work especially, I like the idea. I really am thinking for the second day straight whether we could collaborate with development team and make a really consensus-based approach to oracles. I think it's a really great idea, because even in most of the works, oracles, if you want to be, especially to build non-packed stable coin, oracles are kind of a major issue for building this type of stables, even for backstables like DAI, it's still a huge problem, as we know. And if we find out a solution for consensus-based oracles, right, somehow integrated with validators, we would be probably one of the first networks out there who is doing that. Because basically, as I see it, agreeing on the price of any fiat is just a matter of social consensus in many ways. But sometimes if we talk about social consensus, as with any blockchain, we can talk about digital consensus. We can think of an algorithm for reaching digital consensus of price of any fiat or any asset outside of the blockchain on the same principles like we do with reaching digital consensus on the block. This idea really thrills me. I'm really, if somebody is interested in discussing it, feel free, let's discuss it in Telegram chat, or maybe we can even make another group for this special discussion. I'm really, really excited about it. And this is one of the biggest things I personally took from this contest myself. Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much for this very good note. Anyone else, please? Yes, Alexander, please.
I want to edit my comment that to say Vladimir Maslikov. I agree with him about that. This is very important. Maybe too big part of stablecoin contest. It's stabilization of tokens, and second, it's oracles, decentralized oracles, and how to do this exactly stabilization through oracles in decentralized way. And in this case, I want to say to jury to be more attentively with submission, because I wrote a contest, the document, and remember that one of important part, it's and criteria, it describes in this decentralized way work of this mechanism. I can write, I look in the contest, and there are criteria, support for non-custodial professor stablecoin, and decentralized oracles if it's possible in your type of stablecoin, if it's not pegged to fiat. And in this way, I looked at some submission have off-chain oracles, but good mathematics about stabilization. It's very important that submission try to describe both and stabilization mechanism and decentralized oracles. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Alexander. Thank you. Anyone else, please? Okay.
Hello, everyone. So
yes, please.
We're talking about stable coins contest. Yes, about judging or no?
Exactly.
Yes, I want to say that I create. I'm not judge in DeFi, but I judge DeFi submissions because I'm very interested in this topic, and I look at the judges' points that they give to the different submissions, and I see a very strange thing because there's submissions which are not very good in my opinion, and I can later maybe I can give my table of my judging, of description of my judging, and about submission, and for example, different submissions like second submission and some others, they describes only mathematical and theoretical description, maybe related, basically maybe something like Tether and USDT, and they have a very high points about 8, 9, but if we look in these submissions, in this architecture they propose, there are a lot of ways to manipulate the price of token. That's why it's very strange, and I don't really understand why judges judge like that. And I see this in several submissions. That's why I want to say this thing. So
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I would argue that it's not so easy. I mean, I don't know if you have a particular argument about how to manipulate the price, then please, comment somewhere where I can read it, for example.
Okay.
We don't see how you can manipulate the
price. Okay. Maybe later I will send to the group just my Excel table with my opinions. I think it will be fast if I will describe it now and take your time. That's why I like to be more concrete and send just a document, and you can see.
Okay.
By the way, I'm talking only about this, like our submission, which is number 10. I'm not talking about submission.
No, I mean
no. About your submission.
Guys, please raise hands. Please raise hands, because I see this quite a polemic here. So please, let's be on the side. Okay. Yes, please.
No. I don't say it's about your submission. I say only about.
Sorry, I misunderstood. Maybe. Sorry.
No. Yeah, no, Mitya, no. About your submission, it's not such question about your submission. I say the second submission. Sorry, about missed it. I don't say such word. It's I think it's don't waste your time to discuss your submission, but it's not about your totally. That's why I want to say.
Yes, I agree with DarkWing Dark about second submission. Alex. For me, it's a little bit strange, biggest mark, because for now I sent some part of submission, 2 or 3 phrases to our chat. Look, they offered off-chain oracles, like it's the proposed solution, yes, to organize this calculation and minimize on-chain usage of researchers. We will either use off-chain workers, and if looks attentively, for me it was strange that we tried to do decentralized work. Somebody on their server or home computer will calculate price of token. It's very strange. And why?
It's not of the token. I think it's interest rate, and of course it can be done on chain, but it might be. I think the point of this, the one you put, that for interest calculations of interest fees and distribution quantities, off-chain might be used to minimize the price of this procedure, but it's not like a hard requirement. So when I read it, it's a suggestion of how it can be done to minimize the resources. It's not like an obligation to do it this way. So just into defense of this. And I think as for DarkWing Dark, I think he should apply for the juror if he's interested. And I think we'll correct me, Vladislav, we'll discuss today renewal of the juror committee. so the new members can join. The old ones
Yes,
who are not willing to participate can leave. And
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Just the good start. I can send you my judging.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
right way to do it. And
Thank
also, I would like to just remind that all jurors, they have their own background, they have their own vision, and the diversity is good. Of course, if it's the diversity doesn't support some really silly things, and of course, the scores may vary on some works, and generally, we tend to have more jurors just pushing out bad works and more jurors pushing up good works. But sometimes it may happen that a specific juror just considers a certain work very good. So it's up to his concern. And speaking of this, we have touched these points slightly several times. And as you may remember, I proposed last time that we have the AMA session with all the participants, especially for the technology-intensive contests. As soon as the contest enters the voting phase, so we can schedule some presentations or sessions to ask questions to the participants, and maybe there they can explain better why this or that solution was proposed. And by the way, it's a good quality filter as well, especially when someone uses some plagiated works. Most probably they will not be able just to talk on this point. Yeah, so what do you think about such an approach? And the silence. Come on, guys. I know you have your own opinion. Yes, please.
Okay, I just want to say I don't know if it exists in DeFi. I'm here from from Lex contest which I participate. Maybe I think I'm really thinking about judging, and I think that it will be good if it will be something like more detailed table of judging. For example, we all know that judges they write just a brief or maybe short opinion about submission. But I think it will be better if there will be some table. For example, every judge like I do in this contest, do some table with more detailed description why he decide this, and in this table we can see that he or she actually really looking properly and detailed in work of constants.
Yes, I'm agree. We talked about it about 2, maybe 3 months ago, and we should create separate score. For example, technical score, economical score, risk score, implementation score, and etc. And if you will have 3, 4, 5 scores, and our final score, it will be average between its scores, for example.
It's more about methodology.
Yeah.
But I remember that it's Alexander, I guess, was who tried to introduce such kind of table. It's well, you should understand that there is no strict laws or something like this within Triton, and we cannot have it by design. But self-regulation of the jury is always good. So because it helps you to exchange opinions. But the one thing I would like to definitely avoid is just some kind of coordinated voting. So because sometimes, it may happen that a juror just has his own opinion, but as soon as he looks at the scores of others, he starts thinking that he will just be like a white crow and he will be fingered at, and he just amends his score to be more on the mean. So in this case, what I would propose is maybe to share more the feedback instead of just scores, and the scores should remain in individual purpose. On the other side, blockchain is transparent, and you can always have a look on how other jurors have voted, especially if you do this on a bit later stage of the voting phase. And you can easily check what marks were put by others. So more communication is good, definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Vladislav. And I want to say, maybe some people don't know, we have a special group in Telegram where jurors communicate and share their opinions. It's very good already. And I think I have a concern about jurors affecting scores of each other and by their judgment, and it's not a very good practice. But what we can start with is that we can try to evaluate judging criteria in the contest itself. So we can put these criteria of how it will be judged. For example, economic model, technological stack, implementation possibility, or ease of implementation, etc., in the contest itself, and try to give guidelines to those who participate. Because as I see, not everybody, most of the participants, they don't understand how they will be judged. And what we can start with is just put these criteria directly in the contest and give the same guidelines to the jurors themselves, how to judge the works. But more general, I don't want, if we become too specific, then we can affect the jurors' independence, right? And we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, agree. And by the way, we are coming to the next topic of our agenda, which is some kind of resume or summary of yesterday's call with DevEx group. So actually what was discussed there is that DevEx group has formed already a group of jurors who are dedicated to assessing quality of smart contracts. And if we even go back, and remember what Mitya has proposed a few weeks ago at the main governance call, in some nearest future, I hope we should come to the system of dedicated jurors, depending on the skills and knowledge. Meaning that we will have some jurors who are specialized on smart contract assessment, some jurors who specialize on finance and economics, someone who specializes, I don't know, on copyright, on legal parts, or whatever. And the contest itself will function a bit different. So when we will just kind of recruit this specific group of jurors to judge within the contest. And this is especially crucial for technology-intensive contests because there is not so many people who are able to analyze the efficiency and effectiveness of the source code. And even at the architecture stage, the solutions that are proposed should be implementable. It's written in the contest terms. And sometimes you cannot, without having enough knowledge and experience, understand if this approach is implementable. And that's where the professionals should come in. And what we discussed yesterday is that, of course, there was no decision taken at all. So it was just some first meeting to discuss the common direction. But I really liked the idea itself, and I think at least the least we can do is just to discuss it within ourselves and have our own consensus on whether we would like to attract additional jurors for certain contests or not. So please express your opinion.
On the implementation stage, I'm afraid we'll have to do it because I doubt we'll gather consensus for judging the implementation otherwise.
Yeah, that's why. Mitya, what do you say? I know that you are promoting this idea, and I totally agree with it, but I do not want to affect.
What do I say about what? Like
about attracting jurors from other sub-governances who specialize in certain tasks like smart contracts analysis.
Well, it depends on when, because like when the smart contract system will be written by DGO on the jury organization, all the juries will move to global juries kind of groups. So it's effectively the same. Like instead of you going to kind of find juries by hand and bringing them to the jury group of your sub-governance, the jury groups will be formed like across the whole Freetown ecosystem on certain particular subjects. And you and all your contests will be judged by this global group. Depends on the subject of whatever contest you kind of create. And this is a strong requirement because in order to not give sub-governances a possibility to eat it from both ends, meaning that if you create a contest, you should not judge it. If you judge the contest, you should not create it. So it should be a separation of powers.
Absolutely. But speaking of now, so DTO is not ready yet. Hopefully it will come in some mid-spring, I guess. But until then, so as a pilot, we have several contests coming involving the technology, strong
you
technology.
Should do whatever you can now to kind of judge these contests, of course.
All right. Yeah. Yes, DarkWing Dark, please.
Yes, you can say yes. Yes, I totally agree with this idea because I discussed this idea a little bit later and in other experiments. And yes, it's a very good idea to attract judges from other sub-governments because it's good. I can't add. I just want to say that I totally agree with this. That's all.
All right. All right. Anyone else, guys, please?
Hey, about this topic, it depends from jury quality from DevEx subgov of the Go subgov. Of course, it's if it will be Mitya or someone who got from Tom Labs, it's
Mitya is already here.
Yeah, Mitya is already here. Yeah, it's one way. If it will be some strange people, it will be no way for us.
No, of course we should carefully have.
You're talking about the kind of the how the jury is formed, like who will be in the jury.
Yes, who from
strange people.
Who from another sub-governments will jury in DeFi sub-governments in different issues.
Well, when you pick it now, you pick whoever you want, and in the future, if you have a smart contract, for example, contest, then the jury will be formed only from the winners of the previous smart contract contests. So,
yeah, by the way, it's good criteria. I really like it.
And if you have a bridge or DeFi bridge or whatever, I don't know how you categorize, but whatever category you create for this contest that you want to create in DeFi, like for example, bridge, then again, only the previous winners of the bridge contests everywhere in the community can apply to be jury for this, going forward. So you have professional jury in this way. At least you have people who understand what they're doing.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, in this case, what we really need to think of is the classification of the contest, because right now, just to remind, we have, well, generally 4 stages of each contest involving development of certain product. So the first contest is about design and architecture normally. The second one is about the kind of smart contract and MVP stage of the product itself. The third stage is for end product and user product, and the fourth stage is the security audit of the whole system. At each of these stages, I see that there may be a really strong need in technical specialists who will be able to judge. However, the current processes that we have within sub-governances, they say that we elect jurors through the on-chain voting, and current jury is the only one legitimate to judge. If we want to attract certain jurors from other sub-governances or some other people, so we need to think on how to improve the process so that we could do this. Yeah, because from one side, it will be not really polite with current jurors who just passed the contest, and we just say, okay, guys, so this contest is not just judged by you. But on the other hand, we want to deliver the high quality of the end product, and for the good of all the free tone. So what I propose is just maybe think of kind of a proposal that will help us to implement this functionality, so that we could kind of recruit jurors from other sub-governances for certain contests. Technically, it's easy to do, but we have a certain limitation on the number of jurors within one contest contract. If I'm not wrong, it's something like 32 jurors, but it can be a combined jury of the ones that we currently have and the ones that will be invited. In this case, we will provide the public keys and addresses of those who were invited as well for the specific contest, and the interface team will deploy this contract. Yeah, so generally, I think that's the way to go. So, and if someone has some maybe objections, ideas, suggestions, so please express yourself now or in the working group. Yeah, please.
I think that the best way is to make something like we're doing in SMM too. It's to make something like partnership between, for example, DeFi and DevEx, and this partnership proposal, right? For example, what can DeFi in what, for example, DeFi can help DevEx in, and especially it can be judging, and what DevEx can help in DeFi, and especially, and it can be also judging. If to make this relationship just it's not very good for word official, but I mean, I think you understand what I mean. So it can be a very simple proposal, and after it, and that's all. And when will be the contests, judges who wants to participate in judging and can participate in judging in DeFi, for example. So can be written in smart contract their public their case addresses and so on. I think that's not very hard.
Right, yeah. I think what we will do is that we will just continue this in the offline, in the working group, and we have scheduled the next call with DevEx for the next week. I think it's something like 1 p.m. CET or 3 p.m. Moscow time. So please join everyone who is interested in. And so they kind of prepared the document, the big document that already sets up certain interaction mechanism, but I think for this stage it's a bit too complex. So I think we need to start with something really simple and obvious, and just fix this possibility and run a pilot and see how it goes. Yes, Mitya, please.
Sorry, just wanted to add that I have spoken with Wolfram Alpha, and we have it's through some Spanish university that made the initiative to kind of to contact Wolfram. So they are now formulated the proposal, and the proposal that I kind of suggested for them is to have an integration of Wolfram data into the Oracle community Oracle, like the consensus Oracle infrastructure that we are proposing. So because you know that probably that Wolfram is the main source for all Oracle data around the world. Like they are probably the largest feed
They're big one,
data in the world for all this data. And by the way, of course, this data does not need only to be on the price of an asset, but can also be any arbitrary data, because they kind of, it can be sport feed or weather or whatever. And so the idea is to have a joint project, integration project with them. So so we will be able to kind of call the Wolfram through the node, through the validator, basically this, then aggregate this data in some smart contract, which then can, by the consensus rules as we describe, and then do something with this data. If it's a data of the price feed, then we can then apply some mechanisms of the stablecoin, and so whatever basically. But it can be also used for in like other applications like betting or whatnot.
Very good. Very good. And when do you plan to publish this proposal for
Well,
participants?
I need a reaction from them first, so it will it is I think it will be sent to them by this. I don't know. It's these guys from the university in Spain that are coordinating that. So once they're finished, I don't know, but it should be so quite soon.
Yeah, that's something big coming, guys. Just be impressed. Wolfram Alpha is really something that matters. Absolutely, I understand, and especially if we speak about financial world and speaking about scientific world. So Wolfram Alpha is really something that matters. Very good meeting indeed. Thank you. All right, so let's switch to the next topic. It's about the Jurors efficiency analysis and feedback. So I will just share the screen. So what I did, I just extracted all the data from this is table. Guys, I consider
we
this
can see the table.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, I extracted all the data from the blockchain for all the contests that we currently have. So if you look inside, so you can see that for certain contests, the juror was on the jurors list, so he was able to judge. And these are his scores, total number of scores, and participation ratio, which is kind of just the product of division of the total votes by the total number of submissions. There are some people that participate very actively, so there are no questions to them. But there are some ones who also, for some reasons, the participation ratio was really low recently. And I contacted each one of them just to understand what's going on. And maybe there are some problems or some misunderstandings on how to vote, sorry. And so I had certain learnings that I want to share with you now. So the first learning is surprisingly, people still sometimes don't understand how to vote, and several times they may have done this successfully, but then they forgot, and and that's it. So and they didn't vote for certain contests. Some ones just didn't understand that when they are on the list of jurors and how to check this. So they were waiting for certain notification. Something like, guys, please vote. Although they were just reading all the works, they were judging in some Excel table, but they were not publishing the scores because they didn't know that they are allowed to. And some ones just didn't have time recently and didn't understand clearly if they should vote or not. So almost all of them just proved me that they will continue the duty. So we will see this after this contest for stablecoins is finished. I already now see that there is the participation ratio is significantly higher on average than it was for previous contests. But also what I learned is that we definitely need some kind of AMA session for jurors where they can ask any question about the judging process, be it very complex or stupid, anything. So, but to make them feel that they are legitimate and they can vote. Also, I plan to just give them some insight on how to check if you are the juror in this contest, where you should vote, how you should form the scores. This is nothing to say about how you should score because it's an individual matter. But on the process standpoint, I will just try to explain and educate how to do these things, because I can agree that sometimes it's especially at the first sight it seems complex, but when you just get when you are into it, so it doesn't seem so. So you just understand how to act, and I hope that soon it will be even easier. But still, jurors need some guidance. So that's what I wanted to say, and I invite everyone who has certain questions about the judging process, please address them to me. So I will just collect them, try to maybe prepare to answer these questions, and if I cannot, I will just ask some professionals from the community and some DeFi team, and they will advise how to do this or that. Because there are some questions, even, how long the command should be. So is it 120 symbols or it's allowed more? And or how to check when exactly the voting finishes, or where at least I should go to find myself, if myself is on the jurors list or not. So these are simple questions and there are simple answers to them, but there is actually nowhere to find the answers now. So it's yeah, but Mitya, bye. So he's leaving us. So please, everyone who has some doubts, issues, complexities, please, I'm here to help you. So no worries. If you don't want to do this in public, just PM me. So I will explain this or include your question on the list. And I hope that it will help us to increase judging efficiency drastically. That's what I wanted to say. So please, your questions. Nothing, really. Very good. In this case, so I consider this as agreed. So I will propose some time slots depending on my schedule on when I can run the AMA session, so and publish it in the jury group and also on the main DeFi group. So that anyone who is interested can join. Yeah, and this table was published also in the DeFi group, so you can just dig in a bit deeper and just for your own understanding how it works, how it's calculated, and how people normally vote, what's going on on our sub-governance. Yeah, so it's a very interesting product. So if there is no questions, so we are coming to the most boring, but on the other side, the most interesting part is the payout session schedule. So again, it's a learning curve. So now I know that we should not plan it for the Friday's evening, surprisingly. But guys, tell me please when you're available. I'm asking about this custodian group now, when you're available to sign transactions, because I plan to prepare the payout tables tomorrow. So what time is it convenient for you to sign transactions?
Let's say payout session for what kind of contest?
There are two contests actually waiting for payouts. So the one that is coming to its the stablecoins contest, and another one is Ethereum Bridge stage 1 implementation. So it also expects payout session. So we need to run this too.
Okay.
I came from Greenwich 12 and more.
On which day? On which day?
Tomorrow, if it's possible. I thought that you're talking about tomorrow, no?
Yes, if we can
It's
do this tomorrow
better than
evening,
duty.
it will be fantastic.
Yes, it's better to do all these things not in weekends, because sometimes we're busy on go out in mountains without connection.
Absolutely.
It's better tomorrow or Monday. Thank you.
Okay. Vladimir, you wanted to say something? No. Okay.
If you about me,
in this case,
tomorrow.
No.
Vlad Maslikov, he's addressed me. Vladislav, I trying to say that if you will prepare it tomorrow around noon or slightly afternoon, working hours by Moscow time, so I'm easy to do that in the working hour. Let's say it's 5 o'clock p.m. Moscow time or something like that. Easy to do.
Okay. Very good. In this case, I will just drop some time slots in the payment group, and we will just arrange this payout session.
Good.
By the way, I wanted to ask, if we could we extend the default timeout of 1 hour for signing, because sometimes
yes,
1 hour
that's
is not
a pain in the butt. I agree. Unfortunately, the current smart contract that we are using for Safe Multisig wallet is written in such a fashion that this period is fixed. And we tried to run certain experiments on how to extend it, but they were all unsuccessful. And I know that there is another contract written by, I guess it was Mitya who has written it, that has the 24 hours, yeah, I see the hand, I will just give you the word, that has the 24 hours signing interval, but I didn't see the formal verification of this contract. I don't know if it's safe or not. So, it's always, a matter of safety when you're speaking about money. So, so it's better to plan. Yes, Alex, please say a word.
Just short questions. Maybe you could clarify for me. If you, for example, if you will create another wallet and just sign it and set parameters as you wish, and will transfer all money from all wallet to the new one, is it a problem?
There are actually two concerns that I have. So the first concern is that Safe Multisig wallet is a code that was formally verified, I guess. So we need to check with Mitya, but at least it's one of the standard contracts used within the free zone. The contract for signing transaction within 24 hours is something that I have seen on chats. I do not have the direct confirmation that it was written by Tom Labs team, for instance, and it was duly confirmed. So I do not have 100 trust in this contract. The second point is, of course, you can always just deploy another multi-sig wallet and transfer all funds there. But this is more of the, how to say, on the organizational standpoint, it's mess. Because if you remember the ceremony, so it took several hours and to initiate everything. And if we wish to repeat this again, so of course we can plan this, but we need to be ready that it will not be really fast. And I know that if people cannot even allocate 1 hour to sign transactions for contest winners, so it will be really difficult to get a transfer to a new wallet as well. It's possible. I do not say it's impossible, but it's a bit of organizational.
I mean, I was implementing the wallet for DevEx of government. DevEx of government, so I did it by myself, and the only difference between formally verified wallet and the wallet I deployed is one number, which significant is number of seconds to wait for timeout for sign the transaction. So if there is only one there is only difference one number, so I don't know that it will be.
But you know, it's actually not only about some numbers, you know, within the contract. I talked to several developers who are just building all the infrastructure around Freeton, and what they are saying that there are currently several standard contracts that they can rely on, and normally the source code of these contracts is used in many of business logics. So, for example, if you want to get in certain applications understanding of custodians who are in this contract, so you need to understand this its ABI scheme and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I understand. Everything is the same. The difference is only stating. It's very bad that it is not in the parameters. It's hard coded. The number of timeouts for signing transaction is hard coded.
Yeah.
So it's the same code with the same ABI file with the same. So it will work exactly the same. Just
yeah, but at the same time, I know that formal verification is a process that is not that easy as like a security audit. So, and if they have certain guarantees on the current value of parameters within the code of smart contracts, they will not be able to guarantee that it's safe to use it if you extend this period, because at least they need to test this. On the more general as a more general issue that I would like to address maybe is that definitely we need to have some multi-sig wallets that with variable time for signing. And we discussed it several months ago already, I think. And maybe it's worth to just ask DevEx group to initiate the contest for writing this contract, or maybe amend the current one and run the contest for formal verification of it, so that we can have another piece to the family of standard contracts that, of course, formally verified can be relied on. And in this case, of course, it will be safe to deploy this wallet and transfer the funds to it. I will be the first to do this because to support this, because I really see how difficult it is to sign transactions within the short time limit.
Okay, I will raise this question in the DevEx subgroup.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for help. All right, so that's almost it. We have passed all the points on our agenda. And if you have any other topics to discuss, so now it's a free speech time. Just raise hands, please. Nothing. Okay. I think you're overwhelmed with information. And yeah, okay. Yeah, just to wrap up. So thank you everyone for attending, and you're beautiful participants of our calls. So I really like your comments, and wish to see you next week. See ya.
Bye.
See you soon. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.